Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power TV. Today we continue our conversation with Colleen Stanley. She is the founder and CEO of a wonderful group called Sales Leadership Inc. Welcome, Colleen.
Thank you.
In your book, Emotional Intelligence for Sales Success, you write about the soft skills. Can you describe what you mean by soft skills?
Well, soft skills are really, it's non-cognitive skills such as assertiveness, interpersonal skills, problem solving, impulse control, optimism, and our contention is, and the research shows, that soft skills actually produce hard sales results, not only in sales but in sales leadership as well.
So what would be a skill where salespeople are typically failing easily, that they get carried away by focusing more on the hard skills than on the soft skills?
Here's one that comes to mind, is assertiveness. And assertiveness is the ability to state what you need nicely without becoming aggressive or obnoxious. Mm-hmm. So here's what happens, and I call it the knowing and doing gap, as we talked about yesterday. Every salesperson, if they've gone through any kind of formal training or read some books, knows that you need to get to the decision maker or all the buying influences, right? So what's the reason that the sales manager and the CEO is pulling his hair out? Because they continue to talk to non-decision makers. The old saying, the person that can say no but can't say yes. So they throw more hard skills training at, and they say, now here's the economic buyer, the technical buyer, and all of its wonderful terms. Well, perhaps it isn't a hard selling skills problem. Perhaps it could be lack of assertiveness. And when you're meeting with one of the buying influences, but you know you win business because you need to talk to this title, and this title, you need to just state what you need nicely and say, you know what, we've had a great conversation today. I think there's some things my company can do to help you out. But you know what, before I can make any kind of recommendation, before I'm comfortable, I'll need to talk to these folks. How do we get those meetings set up?
Yeah, but that is a skill that is, in my opinion, very closely related to the fear of rejection. A lot of people don't want to ask for something where they may feel they're not entitled to, or maybe that the customer is going to say no.
Well, it's a good point, and self-regard is a soft skill as well. Okay. And so, you know, salespeople that possess high self-regard, they have no problem calling on the C-suite, and they actually don't have a problem when they screw up a call. Because, you know, they say, okay, I showed up, at least I made it to the call. They do some of that good reflection we talked about yesterday, and then they get their lesson learned. So confidence is a huge reason that salespeople aren't calling on the right decision maker. And there is that whole, you know, it's a lot of research out there, that self-talk and those stories people tell me, I'm going to get in that meeting, I'm going to get stuck, I won't know what to say. Right. So yeah, absolutely. But is that a hard skill? Soft skill.
How do you teach salespeople to improve their self-regard?
You know, starts with getting that downtime. What story are you telling yourself? And then I like to ask salespeople, so when you were in front of that decision maker, that C-suite buyer, how'd that conversation go? Well, a lot of times they're realizing they've never even showed up to the conversation, so they can't tell me the story on it. And then when they start telling me the story, and let's say the C-suite buyer was a little bit more difficult. All right, so they were difficult. How much preparation did you do? How did you show up? Did you have the business acumen? You know, as we all know, these buyers aren't looking just for data dumps anymore.
So I think I get it. Let me rephrase that, and you tell me whether I'm on the right track.
All right.
So you have an experience where you feel you had less self-regard, you were not assertive enough, then you take time out, you look at the situation, and then you develop a narrative based on what you've experienced.
Right.
And once you have that narrative, then you look at it objectively and edit that narrative in a more positive and constructive light.
Right.
That it?
Objectively, and that's called reality testing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's called reality testing?
Yeah, in the AI world we call it reality testing. And it's, you know, really taking a look at empirical data and saying, here's what's really going on versus what you'd like going on. So, you know, my background, I grew up in a startup that eventually went public. So my script, my story is this. The CEO just wants competent people. The C-suite wants competent people showing up. I'm competent. So I don't have a problem with that conversation because I'm telling myself a different story.
Got it. Thank you, Colleen. It's fascinating. We're going to continue our conversation with Colleen tomorrow, where we talk about how to roll out that emotional intelligence within a sales culture.